Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, my fantastic family and friends? It is your boy, Mr. Dominique, aka the Scorpio King, baby. I'm right back at ya with another episode of Dom's World from right up top. You know my routine. You got your world, I got mine. Let's get right into chopping it up this morning, okay? So what's on the chopping block? I was listening to my morning motivation, and this young lady was talking to a classroom full of kids who are inspiring to be future basketball players, football players, tennis players, just athletes. So she was basically just in the room giving a motivational speech to a group of young, inspiring athletes, okay? And her speech was really good. It's really good, and I hope those kids really took a lot from what she was saying. I did. And I took something from what she was saying in particular, and I want to share that with you all. All right? So, chop, 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 chop. Let's chop it up. So, what caught my attention, this young lady said, we are born looking like our parents. We die looking like our decisions. Say what? She said what? We are born looking like our parents. We die looking like our decisions. Boom goes the dynamite. We're going to chop that up, family, because when I heard that statement, bow! It smacked me right in the face. What can I say? It was powerful to me, and that's why I'm sharing it. It really touched me. It really touched me. I never heard it put like that before, and it caught my attention. I'm going to say it one more again. We are born looking like our parents. We die looking like our decisions. Does that not touch you? See, if you're a deep diver, you like to jump in that well of deep diving and go all the way down there to the deep end of it, that has to touch you. That has to touch you. That has to hit you. That has to smack you. That has to wake you up. Because here, let's think about it. Let's deep dive, okay? Let's do it. Let's do what we do here. Spiritually deep dive. When we are born, you know, most babies, newborns, you know, first thing people say, oh, he looks like his dad. She looks like her mom. He looks like his mom. She looks like her dad. You know, like you see a newborn baby and it's just the way it is. We see a newborn baby and we talk about how they look like mom and dad. How, you know, pretty they are, or, you know, if they're not pretty, then we just keep our mouth shut, right? Yeah. But it's quite natural to see a newborn baby and relate that baby to mom or dad. That's what they look like. They look like mom and dad. Sometimes they look like both. Sometimes they look like the brothers and the sisters who are a product of mom and dad. But you get my point, right? Is that when we're born into this world and we're just babies, people look at us and they say, there's Junior. There's mom's mini-me. They have no way to give us any other identity other than a relation to our parents. Because as babies, we don't have an identity, really. We haven't lived long enough to form our own individual identity. As a child starts to grow up, then they start to develop an identity of their own. And then people will recognize them for who they are at that point, hopefully. But for the most part, we're born into this world. We look like our parents. I think most of you can agree with me on that. You know, it's not about fact or fiction or opinion. Just overall, for the most part, when we're born into this world, we look like our parents. However, what really struck me was the tail end of that statement. When we die looking like our decisions. Whether you can agree with that or not, I'm going to tell you why I do. I'm going to tell you why I can find some truth in that statement. When adults die, when grown people die, what do people say at their funerals, at their wake, at their memorial, whatever it may be, where they're bringing recognition to this person who's passed away? When they're receiving their flowers, what do people have to say to identify this person? The only way to identify what kind of legacy the person in a coffin has left behind is we have to talk about who they were. We have to talk about the kind of person they were while they were alive. We have to talk about the things that they did while they were alive. We have to talk about the lives they touched or didn't touch while they were alive. You know what I mean? Like at someone's memorial, people get up and speak for them, and they speak about the kind of person that they were when they were alive. And the person you were when you were alive that everybody is speaking on, you're that person based off the decisions you've made along the way. Boom goes the dynamite. Is that not a fact? We are who we are today because of the decisions that we made yesterday, last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 2 minutes ago, 30 seconds ago. We are who we are right now today based off the decisions we've already made. The decisions that we've made, good or bad, have shaped us into being who we are today. When we're born looking like our parents. When we die looking like our decisions. And that's the person that people are talking about. When you're laying in that casket, dead and gone, stuffed and ready to be put into the ground with the dirt thrown on top, people are going to talk about who you were based off the decisions you made in your life. So literally, you are the decisions that you made. And you will die looking like the decisions you made. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. You will die. You will die looking like your decisions. Which takes me back to a statement I always like to say is that 6 to 9 months from now, you're going to be somewhere based off the decisions you make today. I've been saying that for some months now, for a year now, close to a year now, half a year, close to a year. I've been saying 6 to 9 months from now, you're going to be somewhere based off your decisions you're making now. When you're dead and gone, you're going to be recognized for who you are based off the decisions you're making right now. If you died today, and they decide to speak at your funeral tomorrow, they can only speak about who you are based off the decisions you've made yesterday and every year before that. Because that's who you are, and that's who the people know who you to be. And who you are today is because of decisions you've made in your past. Stop me when I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I ain't got no problem with it. It seems logical to me. And as a man, logic is one of my favorite things to use. Okay? So it seems logical to me. It makes sense to me that when I die, people are going to recognize me for who I am, for who I was when I was alive. Seems logical. And guess what? Who I am, or who I was when I was alive, I'm that person because of the decisions that I made. Seems logical to me. Boom goes the dynamite. I want you to remember this going forward. Think about it. When you're dead and gone, what will people remember about you? And to think about, and to be honest with you, family, This is one thing I've noticed too. And you know, in my years of being a full-grown adult at 45 years old, I've noticed that no matter how good a person was, no matter how special they were, how famous they were, how rich they were, it doesn't matter how good they were at whatever it was they were good at. Once you're dead and gone, you're dead and gone. People may remember you if you did some very spectacular things, but I mean, can you imagine the things you have to do in the world today to be remembered after you're dead and gone? I mean, people today still remember Michael Jackson. But look at what Michael Jackson did when he was alive. Good or bad, however you see it, but he did enough to be remembered all these years later. I'm using him for an example. We ain't living a Michael Jackson lifestyle. Are you? I wasn't born in Jackson 5. I wasn't the first one to do the moonwalk on stage. I ain't make hits like Thriller, Billie Jean, Beat It, Bad, Dirty Diana. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jackson, look at what he did to be remembered. We just normal people, regular people. We ain't famous. We ain't rich. And when we're dead and gone, you'll be lucky to be remembered a week later. I'm called like you'll be lucky to be even talked about a week later. Because life moves on without you, baby. Once you're dead and gone, life moves on. You're nothing at that point, no more other than a memory. And if you did good things and if you did right, the people that love you and the lives that you touch, you will live on in them as a memory. They will always remember you. They'll probably keep pictures of you. But you will always be here and here with the people whose lives you touched. But one thing that's true is out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight, out of mind. And once you're dead and gone, buried in that ground, no longer to be seen or heard from again, out of sight, out of mind. No one's talking about you no more. No one's remembering how cool you were anymore. You have to do some very special things. You got some Malcolm X in you, some Dr. Martin Luther King in you. You got some Princess Diana in you, Queen Elizabeth in you. These people will be remembered. These people will be remembered, but look at the type of life that they lived. Are you living that kind of life? If you're not living that kind of life, chances are you won't be remembered like them. But people close to you who love you and whose lives you touch will always remember you. But the reality of it is you'll probably never be spoke of again, really. It don't take nothing but a week to be put in the ground before people actually start forgetting all about you. The average person. I seen it. I keep my eyes open. I watch people die and get buried, and all of a sudden no longer to be talked about again. Barely even remembered by people that was with them all the time. You think it can't happen to you? Again, are you living the Michael Jackson lifestyle? Are you Queen Elizabeth? Are you a martyr? You want to be a martyr? I don't think so. I wouldn't. I ain't signed up for that, did you? I gotta die to be remembered? I gotta sacrifice my life to be remembered? When you're born, family, you're born into the world looking like your parents. Not much more than that. You may have a special gift inside of you, but no one will know that until you start to grow older and start to show it. But basically, when you're born, you're just a mini version of mom and dad. You can't do anything. Everybody got to take care of you and do everything for you. So it's not much to you as a newborn. Not much to you. Cute, cuddly, soft. We love the babies. You look like your mom, you like your dad. That's it. But when you die, when you go to that final resting place, you will look like your decisions. Let that sink in. Let that marinate, baby. Let that marinate. If you like what you hear, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for all notifications. Like and share your boy videos. I'm Mr. Dominique, a.k.a. the Scorpio King, saying peace One love. Stay blessed. Keep your vibrations up. Namaste. I love you, family. I'm out.